Okay, well the nice thing about Stretton Mill really is the fact that it's in pretty much original condition, although it was restored in 1977. The restoration didn't go too far, so when you go into the mill, particularly upstairs, you get a really nice view of how it was back in 1630. That's how far back it goes.
Yeah, that's fantastic, isn't it?
Absolutely. The floor, for example, upstairs is a wonderful patchwork quilt. Definitely not over-restored. The things we did have to restore here were the water wheels. The water wheels were completely rebuilt in 1977. The pond was desilted. You could actually walk across it at the time before its restoration. And the bywash alongside the mill, the stonework had collapsed, so that had to be rebuilt. But the building between all that, still pretty much original.
That's great. And it's run by Cheshire County Council now?
It's run by Cheshire County Council, and we've done a lot of work. I've been involved here for the past 4 years.
Yeah. And your name is?
I'm Tom Jones.
Tom Jones?
Not the singer. The interesting thing is, the last miller here was Albert Gregory back in 1959. And what happened? Something a real big stroke of luck for us. We tracked down his son, Ron Gregory, who came along a couple of years ago, and told us about the mill, told us things we otherwise would never have known. We'll give you one example, little taster. He told us that during the Second World War, this old mill was brought back to full use, and it was used for 24 hours a day.
Wow!
Helping to feed the population. So we got lots and lots of real local history about this mill that we tell visitors.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And that part about the war as well, you know, that's wonderful, you know.
It is. Well, it really, it's putting flesh on the bones. I mean, we were giving a technically accurate tour of the mill.
Yeah.
But
and the actual stones that you use, you know, for grinding the corn and that, and the wheat.
Yes.
They're obviously in place, and what age would they be at the moment?
We're not too sure about the stones that we use, because the mill does work. We demonstrate the operation of the machinery.
Sure, yeah.
So visitors actually see the machinery, they hear it, they feel the building vibrating a little bit, they smell the process of milling, and that's it. So it's a total experience for them. I'm going to guess now, I think the stones would be late 19th century.
Okay.
And I'm also pretty sure they're French burr stones.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But we do have 4 sets of millstones in the mill. Only one though of those 4 actually in full working condition. A lot of the other 3 could be brought back without too much difficulty.
Because one of my grandfathers, that's my dad's dad, he was a baker.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
You've got it in the family?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, my family history was in mining background.
Okay.
No, not quite the same thing.
Okay.
But I'm here now. Interesting thing, my name's Tom Jones, but if you look at the records of this place, back in 1820, so just before the Victorian period, the miller here was Thomas Jones.
Fantastic.
So I had a certain sort of interesting feeling when I discovered that.
That's good. That's a really good story, Tom.
Tom the miller is back.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Telling me off with legs that was going up on their table, trying to help us by windows.
What's that?
can get drinks as well.
I tell you, people in the past had farms like
So that's how you developed all those muscles, eh, Kate?
That's right, yeah. No need for the gym for me. So if we turn the water on this wheel now, we've got the pit wheel turning, we've got the wallower turning, we've got the main shaft turning, the great spur, and the stone nut, and this top stone upstairs. So the miller's job was down here. He could control how much grain was going into the stones using this scoot here. He could be controlling the amount of flour going into the sacks. So you've got flour shoe there. There's a bit of flour from our last mill. You can also control how far the stones are apart. There are two reasons for this. One is that depending on who you're milling for will determine what consistency of flour. So if you're milling for animals, you need to lift the stones up ever so slightly. And you can do this by using this thing here. So I lift up like this. The stones are gradually becoming a little bit apart. As this beam is going up, the whole of this spindle here is going up with the whole of the top stone on the top there. When we want to do some milling, we'll drop the stones down until they're almost touching, and that will create a kind of vacuum between the stones, and as the vacuum creates the tumbling and the bouncing of the grain, it cuts some of the stones and cutting the grain finer and finer, and we've got the centrifugal force as well, which is pushing the grain out towards the edge. The stones get closer and closer together as we get to the edge, and so what is being dribbled out the edge is the very fine flour. So that's about it down here. It's called. You can see it's quite loose, and if we pull the chatterbox over towards this cam here, this cam is called a damsel and is fixed to the top stone. So as the top stone is turning, the damsel will turn as well, and we'll start to knock the grain into the eye of the stones. Here's the other end of the piece of string that we saw downstairs to control the amount of grain going into the stones. So you can see that as this starts to knock, we get the grain dribbling into the stones. So we'll hear that in a minute when I turn the water on. I'll do over here. Lift the sack up using the sack hoist. So I pull this chain down over here. So while the lost mills have depended very much on the time of year or the water supply, we've never had that problem here. In fact, often we have too much water, and so the bywash here is a way of getting rid of the excess water rather than it building up pressure against the building on that side. You can get rid of the water by opening up the sluice.